So I was 17 years old, and my father took me to see my all-time favorite drummer, Buddy Rich, at a dinner theater. And I just couldn't wait to get there, right? Because I love this guy. So we get there, my father got us great seats, and we're having dinner, and maybe 15 feet from me, the Buddy Rich Big Band. And they're playing, and he sounds great. So the band plays 45 minutes to an hour, takes a break, and then, it gave me a chance to go use the restroom. And when I came back, I noticed my dad was at the bar with Buddy Rich. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. So, but before I got out of the restroom, my dad had been talking to Buddy and said, hey, listen, can you do me a favor? My son is a senior in high school. When he gets out of school, he wants to go on the road with a band. Can you kind of tell him, yeah, it's not what, you really want to do? So when I see Buddy now, I go up to him, introduce myself. Really cool guy. Had probably talked 3 or 4 minutes, nothing much. But he says, hey, listen, kid, I got to get back up there for the second set. But your dad told me you want to go on the road with a band when you get out of high school. I'm like, yeah. And he looks at my father and he looks at me and says, you know what? Fuck your old man. Do what you want to do. And he left. And I look at my dad, and my dad's just shaking his head. And I find out afterwards what I just told you and what he wanted Buddy Rich to tell me. And the reason I tell you that is this. Once I got sober, I started looking at a lot of areas of my life. And one day, I believe I was reading the Bible, or there was a Bible message about, that God gives us all gifts, talents that he wants us to use. And if we don't use them, sometimes that creates an inner turmoil inside people. So I started to think back when, I started playing drums when I was 6 years old, started taking lessons when I was, 6.5, 7 years old. And I loved drums. And I also liked watching people on TV. And I always thought, man, I'd like to be an actor. And I'm talking 6, 7, 8 years old. It was fascinating to me. And I was always making people laugh. So part of me just wanted to be a performer. Later on in life, I thought about stand-up. But that's what I had my passion for. The problem I had was, first of all, I couldn't say that to my parents. Another thing was I was a lousy student. And I found out later on in life, because I can't focus too long on anything. Still can't. Unless it keeps my attention. Like doing these videos. When I first started doing these YouTube videos, it was pretty difficult for me because not only did I, have to shoot it, write it, shoot it, edit it. It's very time consuming, but sometimes it took 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours sometimes. And I had no problem doing it. I could focus, and next thing I know, I'm like, are you shitting me? 4 hours I've been doing this? What? Now, if I was working and, I was doing a sales call and talking with somebody, after 30 minutes, I'm bored out of my mind, talking with these people or demonstrating something, whatever. And it's because there was no passion in my life doing what I, was doing. And throughout the years, talking with different people who struggled with alcohol abuse and drug abuse in different areas too, a lot of times they always said, I just wasn't doing what I really knew I was meant to do. And you may be like that. If you're watching this, you may think, yeah, there was something that I really wanted to do, but I had responsibilities. Or other people told me, you can't do that. What are you, nuts? You want to do that? You're not that smart. You're not that talented. Are you crazy? No. Here's what you're going to do. Like for me, growing up, and I had great parents. So I'm not going to put my parents down, but to them, my life was going to go this way. I was going to get out of school, get a job, play with the band on weekends, which I did, get married, have a couple kids. That's it. That's your life. Enjoy it. And I always thought that was my life. And I'm going to share about a story in this book. Don't drink or use no matter what means no matter what. I came home one night. I used to live in the basement of my parents' house, but it was a nice basement. It was finished off, and it was one of those cool places. But I came home late, probably about 1:30 in the morning or so, and as I got in front of my house, I saw the living room light was on. So that meant my dad was up. And if he was having a couple of cocktails and I came home after drinking all night, we're going to have a discussion. So as soon as I get in the house, I try to head downstairs and I hear, "Hey, Joey, come on over. I want to talk to you." And I'm like, shit. So went up, "Hey, Dad, what's up?" "Sit down." So I want to sit down. We had some small talk. And then he says to me, "Let me ask you something. What are you going to do with your life?" I said, "What?" "So what are you going to do with your life?" Like, Grant, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Pretty well fucked up. Trying to hide it, of course. I said, "Well, Dad, all I want to do is do something that makes me happy." At that time, I was a backhoe operator for the water department and playing music on the weekends and going out, drinking and chasing women at night. My father says, "You want to be happy? What right do you think you have to be happy? You think I'm happy? You think I like my job? You think I like playing in the bands on weekend to support everybody? You think I'm happy? You want to be happy. Look at you. You want to be Mr. Happy. So I'm going to tell you what you're going to do." And it was just that. You're going to, keep working, get married, have a couple of kids, and retire. That's it. Enjoy your life. That's what I had to do. And that bugged the hell out of me. But I did exactly what he wanted me to do. Because back then I was always looking for, his approval. And it's not a big thing. I'm not making excuses or anything. I had other opportunities. I didn't take them. A lot of it was fear-based. But it goes back to what I was saying. A lot of people are struggling with the alcohol and the drugs and maybe a different type of addiction because they're filling a void in their life. That there once probably was a passion that they had, that they gave up. You might have given up. And because you gave up, you used something externally to, like drugs or alcohol, to maybe make you feel good, make you forget that you gave all that up. And as you get older and you look back and you're like, man, I'm miserable. I went through it. And sometimes I still go through it. My life hasn't been the greatest, even though I'm 33 years sober. I've had some good times and I've had some bad times. But I've always stayed sober. I've always maintained my sobriety. Even through, divorces, I had open heart surgery. I had a couple of relationships that also went south. Jobs that I didn't like, but I always maintained my sobriety because I understood that no matter what happened in my life, the good, the bad, the ugly, if I put alcohol in me, I wasn't into drugs, but if you're into drugs, you can understand this, that my life's only going to get worse. Maybe for a little while, I might feel better putting a drink in me. Get that high, get that buzz, feel good, go a little crazy. But ultimately, it would fuck me up. And I know that. So even now, 65 years old, doing this, I enjoy. I've got a couple other projects I'm working on that will allow me to still express some of the passions that I had way back then. But I always tell people, my grandkids, my daughter, and she's doing it now, but just do what you want to do. Find something that you like and then do it. And don't let anybody tell you can't do it. And I mean that. I don't know if I would have made it like I thought maybe I could have if I gave it a shot. But we don't know. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But I always try to tell people to find that passion, something that you love, and go for it. And if you don't make it, at least you tried. And that's one of my biggest regrets. I didn't try. I mean, maybe I went half-ass. I wrote a TV series, and it came close to get picked up. It took about a year and a half out of my life. I came really close to getting a TV series picked up. And then all of a sudden, it didn't get greenlit, and when we thought it would. And that was hard to take, because that would have at least gotten me in the door of where I wanted to be, where I could go in a different direction. But life hit me again. I had to get the job. I had to do other things, and the whole cycle, started over again. And yeah, there's a lot of regrets. And these videos, I'm going to try to make it so hopefully I can help somebody not regret a big part of their life. And the first way is, if you do abuse alcohol or drugs, stop. Done. Go get some help. Find a support group. I said I went to AA. If you don't like AA, go to your church. Talk to somebody you know that's put the drink down or the drug. Get with them. Tell them you need a little help. Ask them how they did it. And move forward. Move forward. Stay away from the drug. Find out what it is that's going to make you tick. A lot of times you think it's about money, right? Oh, it's about money. Got to have all the money. There was a time in my life, I had a beautiful blonde girlfriend. I was running a really good nightclub in sobriety, right? Everybody thought I had it made, right? I was miserable, not because of the girl, not even because of the club. It was, I wasn't doing what I wanted. I was making a good buck. It was just an empty feeling. There was nothing there except the gorgeous girlfriend and, of course, the money coming in from the club. And eventually, both of them went away. So I guess the moral of this video is going to be, find out what you're passionate about. And if anybody tells you can't do it, think about what Buddy Rich told me, and fuck them. Do it anyways. And if it doesn't work out, okay, you tried. Or maybe you'll say, okay, this isn't why it didn't work out, but what if I do it this way? Maybe it'll work out. Right? But whatever. Remember what I always say. Don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. And when times get tough, listen to yourself and do what you think is the best thing for you in the long run. I wish you the best. And, I would appreciate it if you like and subscribe to the channel, because I would really like it to grow. And if you don't feel like it, that's also fine. But I wish you the best. Thank you.